What's up, freaks and geeks? It's Skylar here from another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this is an unusual episode because today I am recording in the afternoon. So I am actually awake. Sort of. So this should be something different. Last time we finished up some side stuff and we started the Forest Temple a little bit, just to give you a bit of a preview of what was to come. But there is something I completely forgot to show you guys that might be very helpful if you're a first-time player and you're having trouble. So we're actually going to leave the Forest Temple for right now. There is something here in the Sacred Forest Meadow that is extremely helpful if you are having a bit of difficulty trying to get through a difficult part. Sorry. Oh, the lag killed me there. Okay, that's fine. So much crap on the screen, just lagging so bad. Alright, so just kill this guy, so he's out of our way. Right in the butt. Climb up this ladder, and up here there's actually a little hole that you probably may have noticed last time when I was blindly looking for the Skulltula. But this is actually something that's here when you're a child too, and I completely ignored it. So if we drop down this hole, it's actually a really easy to find fairy fountain. Which is different than a Great Fairy Fountain. A Fairy Fountain just has regular fairies. I'm not sure if I even, mentioned the fairies at all. I think we saw one in the Dongo's Cavern, but I think I just kind of brushed it off. So this is a big staple of the Zelda series. So what you can do is you can actually bottle up fairies. Like when you do with the bugs, you just take an empty bottle and you use it on the fairies, it'll actually go into the bottle. And what that does for you is when you lose all your health, it'll automatically heal you, and I believe in this game it actually restores you to full health, which is a bit unusual. A lot of Zelda games, fairies will only bring you back up to 8 hearts or something like that. So that's pretty nice. So if you're having a lot of problems, like I said, this is here when you're a child too, so you can always come here. It's easy to get, especially when you get the Minuetta Forest. You just warp right here, get some fairies, and you're on your way. There's plenty of these throughout the world. But this just happens to be one that's very easy to find, and one that I used a lot when I was a kid. I'm not going to bottle any fairies because I'm not going to need any. Listen to me. But I just can't believe I forgot to point that out for you. So if you need that, you should definitely use it. Alright, so let's make our way back to the Forest Temple so we can resume what we were doing. Oh, we have to go past this guy again. I guess I could have just warped, but nah. It's fine. Don't hurt me. Okay, we're good. We're good. Alright, come back up here. Alright, while we're going through some stuff that I already did, I want to mention that lately I've been seeing a lot of videos on a... Oh, come on. Well, it's not a new thing, but it's been recently updated. And it's an Ocarina of Time randomizer, and I've been watching a lot of videos on it, and it looks very interesting. I've been watching Nintendo Capri Sun do his. I watched most of Attacking Toucans do his on Twitch, and it looks like a very interesting and fun thing to try. One of these days I may try to do it, because what it is it's this game, but it randomizes all the chests and stuff that you find. So, you could open a chest and you'll find, you could, I don't know, way back in the beginning when we went into Mido's house, there was those 4 treasure chests with, rupees and hearts inside, but you could open one up and you could find, the hook shot in there, or you could find anything, really, and it's like an interesting puzzle, and you have to try to figure out, how to use the weapons you have versus what you need and where to find them to complete the game, and it's very interesting, so I may try that, and if I get good at it, maybe I will do my own Let's Play of it someday, especially when the hype dies down a little. I don't know, because a lot of people are doing it, so it would be an oversaturation. So I just think that's interesting. Alright, so if we come over here, there's a gold Skulltula waiting for us right there, rather simply. And the first place you want to go is right through this door in here. Okay, so this is a blue bubble, I believe it's called. And one way you can do it is what I just did, and use your shield to make its blue flame go away, and then it's vulnerable. If I re-enter, will it respawn? Because I want to show off another way that I've never done as a kid that works as well. If you Deco Nut it, that avoids all the shield stuff. So yeah, like I said, as a kid I never really used Deco Nuts, but they are very useful. They have a lot of good use, so that's one of them right there. Especially since it can be kind of finicky trying to use the shield. Alright, so in this room we are introduced to the Stalfos. These are very notoriously difficult enemies. And I'm not really being wise right here as I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain before I just go into it. So as you can see, yeah, they have sword and shield. They can block your attacks, and they make themselves very vulnerable, only very seldomly. So you have to kind of find it. The way I like to do it is I kind of like to circle around them. That way you're always out of the way of their attacks. And yeah, that makes them pretty simple. Instead of trying to just do it head on and wait for them to attack you. But when they do that jump slash is when they're vulnerable. And I'm trying to explain, so I'm not doing nearly as well as I should be here. You should be using your shield too. Especially if you feel uncomfortable. But just keep circling around them, and most of the time they'll miss you. They're not that hard but yeah, most people find these very difficult, especially in 3 heart runs, because they do take a whole heart of damage, as you saw, and if I was doing a 3 heart run, I would have died right there. But just be careful. They're definitely not the most dangerous enemies in the game, but they are notoriously difficult for a lot of people, especially first-time players, and even experienced players sometimes. So open the chest, get a small key. I think we get some health back. Oh, there's a fairy right there, actually. Might as well make use of it since it's there for me. Oh my god, get away from me. Alright, so now we have 2 small keys, and you'll notice your small key count in the bottom left corner, right above your rupee count. There's a couple of different ways we can go from here. If you come up here, I believe it's a locked door, and over here is one of those time blocks. I think we'll go the time block way first. So like in Dompey's Grave, you just play the Song of Time in front of it and it disappears. Make your way through. And immediately greeted by a big deco thing. Now the interesting thing about this is if you defeat the Deco Baba while it's standing up, it'll give you a Deco Stick, but you can't use them as an adult. So that was probably just a programming oversight by the developers. Alright, we can ignore that guy. He's not important. So I think that's weird that you can collect Deco Sticks, but you can't use them. Okay, so be careful here. Get rid of these Skulltulas. Now this one up here you can't reach with the hook shot. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You can't reach it with the hook shot. So you have to be kind of sneaky about it. You have to start climbing. And the way to get around Skulltulas that are on the wall still is if it's facing you, don't move. It won't attack you. And you can tell the way it's facing by the direction that its mouth is in. So like if I'm here, it didn't even notice me. Oop, don't move. Okay, we're good. You can just climb up. If it notices you, it'll turn like bluish purple and just attack you. So let's avoid that if we can. Another blue bubble, just... Oh my god. And let's easily... Nice chest right here. I believe this contains the dungeon map. Nothing too special, but let's collect it anyway. Yeah, dungeon map. Still with the Dongo's Cavern. Now, if we look at the dungeon map, we will see that this dungeon is a bit more complex and labyrinthian than anything we've seen before, as I said last episode. I mean, it's pretty much the same size in terms of floors as Zidongo's Cavern. It even kind of looks like it a little bit in terms of you have that main center room and you have the ones going off. But these rooms are they all tend to interconnect in some way, and I'll show you what I mean by that later. And you'll see a lot of rooms that look similar, so you're not really sure where you are, so it can be a little confusing. And as I said, there's some rooms that that relate to one another spatially. We did have that in Dodongo's Cavern too, but not as much. And I want to point out that we're going this way. That this is the emblem for the Forest Sage. If you think about, well, first of all, what it is, it's supposed to be the blades of a fan spinning. And you might think, well, what does that have to do with forests and trees and stuff? Well, that's because originally, in the beta stages of this game, it was supposed to be the Wind Sage. It was supposed to be like a wind temple. And we saw that reused later in Wind Waker, where there was a wind temple. But the emblem just somehow stuck for the forest for some reason. But this was actually changed in the 3DS version because you could probably imagine it being something else if, like, the curves of the fan were a little more angular. So yeah, it could have been seen as a swastika, even though it's not facing. Actually, it is facing the right direction for a swastika, but they changed it to just 3 blades instead of 4 to avoid that issue altogether. And we got a little baby one that just dies. Over here we have a Skulltula that we can just kill. Not that it's really going to get in our way. But yeah, as you can see, like this room, it looks like that room we were just in. With like the little pond and the place we climbed, but it's actually the complete opposite side. If you look at the map, there's a blue flashing part there. That's the room we were in, and the room on the left side is where we were. Because if you look at the first floor, you walk into that room there. That to the left, top left corner is where that time block was. So it can be a little disorienting if you don't know what you're doing. That's a hook shot target, that little target thing. It just serves as something for your hook shot to hook onto. Even though there are vines in the wall, so I don't know what they were thinking. Alright, so that emptied that little well over there. So I guess we should just make our way there. Oh, that was cool. I thought didn't think that would happen. Alright, so let's be careful here. Let's try to climb down this ladder. Let go. And if you let go, I don't know, I think this ladder's too short. Oh no, okay. So when you have a big thing to climb, I could have mentioned this before, but if you hit down and you keep holding up on the control stick, you will automatically grab back on before you would take damage. Like if you just fell all the way down, you would take fall damage. But you can avoid that by letting go of the ladder or the wall that you're climbing and just press up on the control stick and you will automatically grab back on before it's too late. Got another chest at the end here, which is facing that weird direction. And we have another small key. So we haven't even opened a single door yet, and we have 3 small keys. But trust me, you would want to do it in this order, or else you will definitely get stuck. Because you won't have enough keys to progress, even though you have some. And once again, we are back in that first room, so just to confuse you even more, here we are. Right? Oh, computer, don't go to sleep on me. Alright, so now we can exit and go back into that first room. And I think we can make our way to that locked door now. The top right corner, you can't open that door, it's barred. There's no way for us to open it right now. And we're never really going to need to. So just open the door. Open it, I say. Just walk past them, it doesn't matter. Alright, ready for a bit of tedium? There are arrows painted on the floor. Well, thank you for that. So, what these arrows aim to do is, it's a block puzzle. So you're going to want the block to go in the direction of the arrows on the floor. And they make this puzzle a bit tedious. It could have been done so much more easily. Like, they could have rewarded players for knowing what to do already. But no matter what you do, you're going to have to backtrack. You know, have to go back and forth between locations a couple of times, no matter what you do. Just because of the way they set up the blocks. It's kind of annoying. Yada, yeah. Yep. Okay, that's as far as that can go. There's a ladder over here. We'll walk past that for now. I'm going to push the block over here. Like this. Push it in. Push it hard. Let's climb the block. Yeah, that's another thing. When you're against a block, you want to pay attention to what the blue action icon says, because it can be a little frustrating to try to climb a block, but you just grab onto it. But you want to be pushing up against the block. I may have already mentioned that way back in the day, but just to reiterate the point, because it's really relevant here. Alright, so now we have to pull this block, but we can't pull it anymore, and we can't push it because it's against the wall. So what we need to do now is we need to go back downstairs, or I guess it's kind of downstairs, sort of. Climb this ladder. Okay. Don't go that way. Just enter this little doorway here and push the block we just saw. Oh wait, maybe we could have. Oh wait. Maybe I'm lying. Because I think we would have been able to push it. Oh well. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm saying. So I think we could have pushed that first. And, oh, see, I just did it. I just grabbed onto it when I meant to climb. I guess we could have pushed that brown block first. And then came up here and just had to push it. Maybe. Oh well. I like to make things more difficult for myself. Sue me. Sue the fuck out of me. Climb block. Okay, I think this is just a drop down. We don't want to go there. Okay. Oh, more ladders to climb. Just for fun. I think because now that we're now officially on the fourth floor, second floor, fourth floor. Excuse me. What the hell am I saying? I don't think there's any purpose to defeating these things, but I just want to show something. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so now we can see that we have an eye switch. Like we used to shoot our with our slingshot, but we don't have use of a slingshot. So I guess we have to pass it up for now. The hook shot doesn't do anything to it. Somehow. I don't know how. So let's just enter the locked door and... oh my. This corridor is all twisted. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I can see that it's all twisted. So this is kind of a cool little thing. Like, you might be wondering, well, why is it twisted? It's a little, it's kind of a cool effect, and it really makes you a little dizzy. But nothing that we can do with that right now. Watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. Alright, so I'm not going to press A yet, because I want to explain that this is talking about Wall Masters, an infamous part of the Zelda series. It's interesting that they're called Wall Masters, because as Navi even mentions, they actually come from the ceiling. But that's because back in the days of 2D Zelda, Wall Masters, you know, it was just 2 dimensions, so there really was no ceiling, so to speak. So they would actually come from the wall. And what they do is they're trying to actually grab onto you to bring you back to the beginning of the dungeon. So it can be kind of a pain, so we kind of want to avoid them if at all possible. If I stand here, the shadow, you'll hear like a little whoosh sound. And you'll see a shadow under your feet. But that's when you just move away from them. And see, if we hadn't collected that third key, we wouldn't have been able to come in here. You would have come all the way up here, and you would have to go all the way back. So, yeah, as you can see, these dungeons can be a bit tedious. Oh, maybe we've got a little bit of a window here, or maybe it's a painting. And that looks like the ghost that took the torches away earlier. But nothing we can do about them right now. So let's just enter the next room. And another Stalfos with a hole in the floor. And that hole in the floor actually leads to the room where we first defeated the Stalfos. It's a little hard in this room with the hole to get around him, so you kind of have to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Conservative with how you fight him. You have to kind of do it the old-fashioned way, use your shield. Because you don't want to fall through the floor, because you'll end up back in that first room and have to come all the way back up. Again, these dungeons are a bit more complicated and tedious, and oh god, I'm not even paying attention. So you defeat him and the floor drops down, so now you have a full, you can use all the floor space. And now 2 pop up. Oh god. Oh shoot. So you just keep circling the dude, and he kind of just... Okay, so we got a bit of lag there, and there's still pieces of bone on the floor, because this is actually timed. You have to defeat the other one before the other one respawns and comes back to life. But just do what I said, and you'll take them down in no time. It can be a little annoying when you're trying to defeat the thing, and the first one comes back to life. So surely we have to get something good for this. And we get the fairy bow. So this is the adult version of your slingshot. It basically functions the same way. There's, you know, you use arrows instead of seeds. There's no difference in, you know, trajectory or distance that it can shoot, but I guess it's just more of an adult method of fighting, I guess. So I guess we could call it that. Oh, it took 1 heart damage, that's cool. So you might be thinking, which way do I go? It doesn't matter. Take either door right now. Yeah, this is actually the other side. And we can see those paintings again with the ghosts. So what you want to do is, now that you have arrows, you can actually shoot the paintings. But you don't want to get too close, because as you saw earlier, that it retreats to a different painting. So from a distance, you shoot it, and it'll appear in another one. Shoot the second one, and the third one it has no choice, so you can get as close to it as you want. But once you shoot it, it'll come out and start to fight you in the bot. Probably edit that out. Choking on life. Alright. Sorry about that. Once you shoot it, it'll go down to the little downstairs area and start to attack you. And this can be a little tedious too, especially if you don't know much about how to fight pose. I do want to use Navi to point out something though, so if you Z target, and ask Navi about it, her name is Beth. One of the Pose sisters. Aim for her when she appears. So, you can use Deco Nuts. Just like this. Otherwise you have to... Oh, I messed that up. And then you want to just get away from them when they do that shit. But a Deco Nut makes them appear right away. And you don't have to wait for her to, appear. As a kid, what I used to do is I used to, like, stand in one corner and shoot her with arrows. But that's a little time consuming. So, yeah, let's not... I just learned that trick recently, actually, and I probably should have done it a long time ago, that the Deco Nut makes them rematerialize instantly. So stupid of me on that. And she just rewards you with the compass, so that's fine. Normally I wouldn't go this way because I know what's up here, but I just want to show you, once again, if you try to venture forward, you were greeted with a locked door and no key, so you have to go back. Now if we go back, we backtrack, we can actually just deal with that first ghost. Just find the painting that she's in, which is the one up here. Let's see what her name is. Her name is Joelle, one of the Post Sisters. Aim for her when she appears. Anybody noticing a pattern? Any readers out there? No? Well, maybe we'll see the pattern later. I think it takes like 6 arrows if you do it by arrows, but only 3 sword swipes if you do jump slashes, so definitely do it that way. It's a lot faster. Right? Alright, not that I needed that. And I think we get a small key. However, you may be tempted to go back to that other room and open that locked door, but as you've learned, don't do that. Go back the way we came. Wait, that's the wrong way, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go up the stairs. Go up the stairs. Love walking upstairs. Going up the stairs, going down the stairs, going down the crazy stairs. Okay, quickly make your way through here, because we don't want to be here too long with that thing. Rather just not see the wall master. And now we... don't hurt me. Now we can shoot this eye. The eye is closed, and... like magic, the hallway is straightened. Alright, so I wonder what's in this pretty chest. It's very pretty. Let's open it. We already got the dungeon item, so it's nothing special like that. Believe it or not, we're back here. Yeah, I don't want to deal with you. And you meet the wall master's cousin, the floor master. Alright, so here's an interesting room. We have a room with a rotating set of platforms in a pool of God knows what. Okay. Man, this is gonna be close. No, no! Grab it! Oh, it's the last ghost. But nothing's coming out. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh. Guess not. But now we have a new stage to greet us. Wonder who it'll be. Hello. Girl, you okay?